How is everybody doing tonight? Welcome back to another episode of Boys in the Zone. This show is brought to you by the Grid Network. That's GRYD Network on YouTube and all other platforms. The Cowboys unfortunately fell to the Los Angeles Rams 13 to 12 on Sunday night, but that didn't come without some positives from the team, and a lot of these rookies honestly impressed. So we're gonna get into that. But first, I do want to. Well, we got a comment from my guy Ruben here. What's up, my guy? How you doing, man? Good to have you in the chat as always. Um, First, I wanted to drop in a couple of these videos from some of the players after the game, and first is DeMarvion Overshown. So let's listen to what he has to say.
When you take that away from a competitor like myself, you got to find little wins throughout the day. So it was times where I go in my garage and with a fly squad and just hit flies all day, just to feel good, just to feel something, reaction time. So just coming off a block, making a tackle, that felt great.
Why is fly swatter the first thing that you think of in this moment?
Because when you from, where I'm from, I say the country, East Texas. You got a lot of bugs out there, and you grow up with a fly swatter, grandma with a fly swatter in her hand, and that's just something you can just work on your reaction time with, swatting at flies all day. So, that was one thing that I just enjoyed doing.
How can you take
When you take that away from.
Yeah, so DeMarvion Overshown obviously very excited to get back onto the field and just be able to hit something he obviously cites, man. I was just rehabbing, swatting flies just so I could feel something, which is a funny quote, obviously, by the guy. He honestly is slowly becoming one of my favorite players, even though he hasn't really made his Cowboys impact yet. It's just he has so many quotable, lines in his pressers and whatnot. He seems like a guy that really wants to make an impact for this team, and he did last night. We're gonna see some of that stuff from him whenever we get into the All 22. My guy Falcon says, "I'll wait while people who watch the 22 apologize to Mozzie." Yeah, Mozzie was really good. I think that first that the first um few plays, obviously, that the Rams had the ball. Um, the second drive, he got into that good to okay territory, but you definitely did see him lack some consistency the more that he played. He still needs to get his conditioning up, which will come, obviously. But yeah, Mozzie looked much better, much improved since last year for sure. Let's keep on going down in this. Did want to read this comment by Nick Harris, who works for the team. He said some big offensive line updates from Mike McCarthy today. Chuma Edoga is to miss extended amount of time with a broken toe. I saw that he was going to be out maybe 4 to 6 weeks. As expected, Tyler Guyton will take over at left tackle with more reps coming. He cites Cooper Beebe will start getting more reps with the first unit at center starting today, which is huge for anybody that is on the Cooper Beebe train. And then Asim Richards will continue to get more work at the left tackle in Idoga's absence, and he's probably going to be your swing tackle moving forward, for the team. So that's definitely a big thing. Apparently, Marshawn Nealon has been cited as a young Cam Jordan with unteachable characteristics. Marshawn Nealon has quickly earned the respect of his coaches and peers in rookie training camp. Just super hungry, or just so hungry every day, willing to learn, and he has that dog in him. Um, he was cited as one of my favorite picks in the draft. I always saw him as a fringe first round kind of a guy, and I'm so excited that the Cowboys got him. And that pick is just looking better and better each and every single day. Of course, it looks better after Sam Williams unfortunately tore his ACL and MCL. But now, looking after that first preseason game, you can really see that we have another run defender on the edge, which I seriously think we have lacked in the past. So if it is a rundown and you have D-Law on one edge and you have Marshawn Nealon on the other edge and Micah playing in that linebacker role, I really, really like that front seven. And then going to Patrick Nosey Walker, also works for the team. He's a great follow. If you do not follow him, go check out Voice of the Star. He says it's become second nature. I just didn't know that unless they say, I just know, sorry, that unless they say something to me, it was a good snap. I don't worry about that anymore, says Cooper Beebe on perfecting his snap. Yeah, he's getting more work as the as the starting center with this team. And I think that that is incredibly important moving forward for this team because, as you'll see in some of this film I'm going to break down a little bit later, Cooper Beebe is so much better in space than Brock Hoffman. He gives you more in the run game, and I personally think he's going to deal with those nose tackles, especially the Dexter Lawrences, the Jordan Davises in our division, a lot better than a Brock Hoffman. I like Brock Hoffman. I think that he's a good center to be a backup. I just see the upside with Cooper Beebe so much, and we're gonna jump into the film obviously and see what this guy has. But man, I'm so excited for Cooper Beebe, especially getting that opportunity after the good preseason game that he had. And yeah, it's just fun. My guy David says Michigan sucks. LOL. JK Falcon. David from Fort Worth. Um, I like this guy. I watched him more on film after this interview. I'm more of a fan of his play and character now than I was. Absolutely. Demo, man, he's moving up the ranks for me as well. Nealon is rocking that 94. That number is not just given to anyone. Exactly. Like you think of 94, you automatically think of DeMarcus Ware, one of the greatest pass rushers that have ever come through the Dallas franchise. And honestly, one of the best pass rushers in league history, in my opinion. But man, it is really special seeing that 94 being touted by another a guy that seems like he really wants to make an impact for this team. Falcons, see, I felt differently since they gave 94 to Gregory. That was annoying. Then they gave it to Nealon, but turning me around quickly. Yeah, I do remember, obviously, Gregory had his issues in the past, but when he was on the field, he repped that 94 pretty well. So if that's any indicator of how good Marshawn Nealon will be, hopefully, he kind of follows in the same, trajectory as those guys, getting the sacks, getting those pressures. My guy Bot G Eric in the chat. Crack him if you got him. What's up, EJ? Eric, good to see you in here, Boots. Long time no see. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Let's jump into some more of this stuff right here. Actually, I do want to. Let's scroll down here to this Ian Rappaport and let me know if you guys are getting the audio.
The offensive line got retooled a little bit today. You have Cooper Beebe, who is a rookie third rounder, but it sounds like he had a really, really good camp. Going to get more reps with the ones at center. It seems to me that could potentially end up as the starting center as a rookie. I think that is probably good news long term for the Cowboys. And then with the Chuma Edoga injury, you have Tyler Guyton, the first rounder, also getting first team reps. Does seem to be based on how long his competitor's injury is. That probably going to be the starting left tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. That is a young but very, very talented offensive line. You do wonder if that's going to lead to some growing pains a little bit, but I would say the future is bright there. I would also say that the Cowboys offense is still waiting for CeeDee Lamb to arrive, which thankfully Micah Parsons said some stuff about today. One thing that does seem to be kind of a big deal, I would say.
Yeah, so Ian Rappaport is just basically echoing what I mentioned earlier. Cooper Beebe in there at center starting. Hopefully, he kind of alluded to it. We're getting both of our rookie offensive linemen that we drafted in the first 3 rounds on the field. That comes with some growing pains, as he mentioned, but it's exciting because it's the new regime of this offensive line. It's that new turning of the tables around and kind of the shuffling of chairs a little bit because Cooper Beebe didn't play center at Kansas State at all. He played every single other position except for center. But it's very exciting to see him play so well. And to that same sentiment, my guy Dylan says, "What's poppin'?" Within 5 minutes of watching that BB tape, I was blown away. Several dudes upon their asses. Yeah, so we're gonna get into the BB tape for sure. My guy Engineered Psycho confirms that the audio is heard on his side. Did he though? Gregory was ultimately a penalty god. LOL. He never was that guy that Haley and Ware were, for sure. Gregory was a little bit more penalty prone. But man, he did get pressures. Let's not act like he didn't. I mean, still, what does it matter? Marshawn Nealon's got a cool number. At least he doesn't look like Tyler Guyton out there with the number 60. I think Cooper Beebe will get his shot at either center or right guard, but only if someone gets hurt. Knock on wood, Hoffman looked in control in camp. Night and day change from last year. He got mean. My guy Falcon, CD done before regular season. Same with Dak, 100%. I like the positivity right there, Falcon. Boys in the Zone, like, share, subscribe. Absolutely. If you guys have not already, like, hit that thumbs up, share, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. It's coming across your screen at the bottom. And just appreciate the chat live tonight. Jokes aside, I did like what Mozzie showed, but I definitely want to see him play more snaps next game. Maybe coaches are already convinced that's why he didn't play more. Not sure. Thoughts? Yeah, I think that Mozzie definitely has some conditioning. That he needs to clean up a little bit more, but that comes with being a big guy. You can't go 100% every single down and expect to be, popping off on every single play. He's just got to fill his gaps, fill his assignments, and let those linebackers go to work. And I think that'll go a long way. Let's jump into. Let's start with Trey Lance really quick.
For the Dallas Cowboys, and he starts.
We're not going to use the audio on this side, but we'll jump into some of this. Trey Lance drops back, gets out. This is a really good block by Tyler Guyton, and we'll get into this a little bit later. But Trey Lance, we knew that he could use his feet. He gets out of the pocket, picks that big 3rd and 10 up. This is probably Trey Lance's best throw of the day to David Durden along the sidelines on the run, and just a really good throw. This one, I would say this is probably his second best throw of the night, honestly. Of course, it's a little bit behind. Let me pull this back some. A little bit behind Jalen Cropper right here, working in this off this little slant, and he kind of he doesn't flatten that out as much as you probably want, but maybe he was just getting depth. I don't know what down it was. Either way, throws it a little bit behind, but when you understand the safeties and the linebackers there, that was actually a pretty good ball placement on that one, and that was mentioned by David on the post game show as well. This throw was how hard is that throw? It's just a down and throw that you like to see. This one was a little bit of Dak-esque, breaking, contain in the pocket, getting out of a sack, and then going and picking up a nice 3rd down or 4th down conversion right there. I can't remember what it was. 3rd and 9 right here. This one's good, and I will say, out of this was one of the better throws as well, if I'm being honest, by Trey Lance. But I will say, Trey Lance has a very good base as far as his mechanics go. So you can watch his lower half and understand how his feet are really squared up when he throws it. That's actually exactly what you want from a quarterback. Dak typically does not have that good of feet, and that's what's really interesting about Trey Lance. You'll see is he actually has clean feet, but he sails balls more often than not. So it kind of interesting. These are only the highlights as well. I didn't add any of the bad plays. I had plenty of those to look at as well. But some good plays right here. Kelvin Harmon was a guy that was lower on the depth chart that kind of impressed me, going up to climb the ladder on a couple different instances and getting some good yards after the catch on this ball as well. But this one, Trey Lance actually layered the ball over a linebacker, so this was another really good throw by him. Overall, finished the game with 188 yards and also led the team in rushing. So a decent game. I would probably rate this like a C plus if I had to give it a letter grade. But overall, I think that this is one of those games that allows you to, have a good foundation. You haven't played in a long time and understand that you can get better and continue to build off of this game. Jumping back into some of the comments. I think that they'll play him more during the next few games. I think that he's on a snap count for shoulder recovery still. Maybe not, though. And he's talking about Mozzie right there. My guy Cuts by Jones. What is cracking, homies? What's up, Cuts? Good to have you in here, man. Looking forward to playing some more fantasy football against you guys in the Cowboys cave as well. What's up, my guy? What's up? He's referring to Cuts. I like that when asked about rust or etc., Lance chose not to lean into excuses and instead took accountability, not saying that it makes him win a roster spot, but shows leadership, in my opinion. Yeah, that was good to see, especially in the post-game presser, just taking those questions from media members and understanding that this is a building performance and he can continue to get better. No apologies needed, David. Always like the comments. I was told he sails throws because his shoulders are angled upwards when he throws. I thought maybe he had feet issues, but was wrong. Yeah, I haven't really dove into the mechanics. I just kind of picked it up right there whenever I saw that, and was looking at it a little bit more, he does have a really good base, which is completely the opposite of Dak. Dak is very good at actually getting his shoulders and hips into throws, and that's what you see Dak doing before in pregame and whatever, working on that and opening up his hips. I think it's like the literal opposite of Trey Lance. I just don't think that he has the quite the mechanics on the upper half that Dak does, and Dak makes some circus throws. He really does. Let's jump into this video of Tyler Guyton, all of his plays and blocks. There was only 21 snaps. I think this is 16 here. I didn't get a few of them, but I thought that I might include a lot of the passing ones in here because that's what we really wanted to see from Tyler Guyton. So here he is, left tackle, has good patience right here. I will say that. Doesn't extend his arms, doesn't expose his arms, and just plays the pass rusher perfectly, mirrors him. He's not afraid of the the speed rush around the edge. Here he is in a run blocking assignment, gets up and pushes a hole. Obviously, the run is out of the pistol, so it's probably going to be cut here. It's hardly ever going to be cut that wide to Tyler Guyton's side, but overall, I liked what I saw from Tyler Guyton on that rep. This one, let's pull it back a little bit really quick. He has a good set. He has. I will say his quickness off of the snap is really in tune with what the center is doing. You can see he gets up in the set really quick. Yeah, I mean this is kind of a wash of a snap for me. The play is probably not going to come to his side anyways, but does good. This one is one of the better ones in my opinions because it shows that he's completely aware of that he has to probably help his guard if that guy comes on that wide shoulder of the guard right there. And pull it back really quick. You can see him put his arm out, and he's cognizant of his ability, of his athletic ability to not worry about the speed rush on the outside. He could still completely get over there. He has the length and the athleticism. So, and this guy number 51, he's more of a speed rusher anyway. So he's not going to go probably power straight through your nose, and he understands that. So really good understanding of this. This one was probably one of my favorite plays by Tyler Guyton just because of how he blocks this. You can see the rusher acts like he's going to come up, tries to swim it inside, and Tyler Guyton perfectly mirrors him, pushes it up, and allows a really good run lane for Trey Lance to pick up that big 3rd and 10. Let's pause this for a second, see if we got any more comments running through. I probably paid more attention to Trey more than any other player at training camp in Oxnard, and it was bad. He outplayed Rush on one day, barely. Rush beat him by a mile, 4 out of 5. Days that I went to camp, Dak lapped them both, though. Falcon, Lance needs to understand the timing importance. He just doesn't dissect the plays quickly enough. Absolutely. That's his biggest thing is as once he's off of his first read, that's when he kind of panics and he's not as accustomed to getting to his second and third reads. And when he does, he doesn't trust it nearly as much as he should to just whenever he's looking at his read and then he goes to the second read, if he sees it open, he needs to just rip it in there. And I don't think that he trusts it. He waits a little bit, and that allows linebackers, safeties to read the eyes and get that little tip off and get their hands on balls. So that's the biggest thing I saw. But when it was his first read, that he was pretty good. Yep, Lance is not the guy people thought that he would be coming out of college. He has acclimated quickly to left tackle, which is encouraging. Yep. And let's jump back over to this film side. Here he is. You can see pushing that arm out to understand that 52 absolutely could come on that outside shoulder of the left guard, which would mean that he has to help on that block. And he's aware of that, but then 52 comes in. This is actually a stunt play right here. As you can see, these two cross, and that's what Dan Quinn is really famous for whenever he was the DC of the Cowboys. And that's why the stunts work, is because if these guys aren't communicating, and boom, he pushes, but then he doesn't pick up. And it's actually supposed to be a screenplay on this. So you can see Hoffman gets up and out, but he's thinking, oh man, I just whiffed on this block. So he should have just let this guy run and get out. But he doesn't. He whiffs, and then he does a whole 360 just to get over to the block he should have already had sealed. So bad rep by Hoffman there. But going back to Tyler Guyton right here, does a good job extending that arm, getting out, it lands both of his hands on the pads and keeps this guy stonewalled. Really good rep by Tyler Guyton overall right there. This one, that one came in a little bit fast. Let me go back real quick. That's it. See, this is what I'm really impressed at with Tyler Guyton. You'll see. He stabs with just the left arm right here. This is what you look for on film. This is called independent hands. This is something that is learned and or taught and not typically learned independently of coaches, because typically you feel like, oh, I'm always more powerful with two hands, but you understand the length aspect of one hand is further than using both of your hands. So you have more length, but also if they do swipe that arm down, you have your other arm to kind of defend as well. And so you can see the independent arms, the first stab and then the second stab. That's a very good sign for Tyler Guyton because his hands have been bad in the past. And that was one of my biggest concerns about Tyler Guyton coming out of college. Here he is, stonewalls. That's perfect protection. Trey Lance just has to make that throw right there. Roll back this one, sorry. Tyler Guyton right here on the run. Double team on 52. Gets a lot of push. Keeps on pushing. Good. Really good run blocking right there. This one doesn't really do anything. This one, I will say, if there's a bad rep, it was probably this one that I saw. He's expecting this guy to just come outside because he's more of a speed rusher. He actually beats Tyler Guyton into the inside, and you can see this is probably going to be a hold if the official is looking at Tyler Guyton right here. And he eventually puts him on. I mean, he has so much power and athleticism and length. He can get away with some of this stuff. Not a bad rep right there. This one again. Pushes. That one's a good rep. Let's look. Gets out. He's always. That's what I really like about this this first preseason game by Tyler Guyton. His just understanding of he's always cognizant of having to help on the double teams if that guy shades in on that outside shoulder towards Tyler Guyton, which is really good. Right here, he gets some nice depth on the run blocking assignment. Right there, pushes, and then look at that. He's blocking two people at that point. Overall, super impressed with Tyler Guyton game one.
Janus, the offensive
He
line
actually
got
let me
retooled.
pull this off. Sorry. He actually graded out as the #1 rookie offensive tackle this past preseason week. So he's slowly becoming more accustomed with the speed of the game and with just using his hands better and sharper each and every single down. Let's bring up Ruben's comment right here. Dak is looking so sharp this year. I don't think anyone on any other team has looked better than he has. We need CD back though. I know people are worried about Guyton, but I have faith in our first round offensive linemen. We do not miss on those guys. Couldn't agree more, Falcon. I'm wildly impressed with how good Tyler Guyton has looked, even with that. Let's jump into let's look at Cooper Beebe. Stay on the offensive line, and this one's a long one, so bear with me right here. Cooper Beebe here at the center position. You can just see how well he protects. He does not allow anything in here. Trey Lance has all of the ability to step into his throws and rip. That's perfect protection by Cooper Beebe right here. No nose tackle over the top of him this time. Perfect snap. Understands that he can help his guy to the right side of him, and he does. Stonewalls him, allows another clean pocket. Here we go again. Really good snap. Cooper Beebe over there. He helps both of his guards right here in the run blocking assignment. You can see he chips this guy first and bounces him over to his buddy right here, and then he comes straight back over to the other side and gets nice push, nice depth for 5 yards of depth right there from Cooper Beebe. This is what I'm talking about with Cooper Beebe versus Brock Hoffman, is the athleticism and the power. I don't think it's matched with Hoffman to Cooper Beebe, and I think it's very evident whenever you watch this all 22. So let's keep on going. This is under center snap. Cooper Beebe, perfect snap. Again, gets right there at the little chip on the tackle and then moves all the way up to that second level on the linebacker. Just he's putting on a clinic on how to play center right now. He gets walked a little bit, but I think it was probably a little bit of hands to the face right there. An overall good snap. The double team right here, you can just see he's nasty. He's always looking for somebody to put in the dirt. Continuing on here, Cooper Beebe again gets outside. Oh, that was actually a kind of a nice little design right there on the play. Little boot. Boom. Outside. Yeah, I actually really like that play right there. That'll be a good one to look for in the regular season with Dak. Cooper Beebe again. Good protection. Here we go with somebody over the top. I don't love that by Cooper Beebe. You don't settle for those because you have the ability to, help your teammates if you can put your guy in the dirt. But yeah, I don't love that one. Just taking yourself completely out of the play. This one's good. He's just aware of everything else, looking for work. I like that. Head on a swivel right there. That's what you want to look for from a center. And you can see there he's a little bit late on that one, but that'll come the more reps he sees from center. You can see he has the head on the swivel. Now, if he is getting his head all the way around, he probably recognizes this stunt right here that happens. Swoop over, and he should be there. Still, these two guys have to have better communication on the stunts. I noticed that a lot with this third string offensive line. The stunts gave them a lot of trouble. Cooper Beebe right there. Let me go back to that play. Sorry. D8 comes back over. Good. He picks it up right there. Not much to say about that. I did notice that Cooper Beebe didn't see a lot of nose tackles right above him, but really good blocking right here on that play. Could have asked for a little bit more push on the depth, but overall good. This is what we call looking for work from offensive centers, as he's always keeping his head on a swivel. If there's nobody coming on those stunts or those free linebackers right there, go and help your teammate. That's looking for work. So that's really good. Gets good push. Stays consistent with his pushes and getting up there. Here he goes. Perfect blocking. Nothing I would have changed right there. Here he is again. These snaps, for all the talk about his snaps being bad, I thought that Cooper Beebe was exceptionally good at snapping the ball in the shotgun and under center for the Cowboys last night at that center position. Yeah, let's see. My guy Dylan says O-line looking like bullies, going to help offset concerns at running back for sure. Yeah, I think that is my biggest, I think, upgrade from last year. I just think that we got tougher, especially if you have the athleticism of Cooper Beebe and Tyler Guyton in the run department. You can use those pin and pull plays a lot more, and that allows your offensive tackle or your athletic offensive linemen to get out there and get to the second level and really lay big pancake blocks on those linebackers, corners, and safeties. That is something I'm very, very much looking forward to, because you have a speed guy in Rico Dowdle if he can stay healthy. And then, if you mix in a Deuce Vaughn, if he does make the team, I'm very, very excited about that. And then the potential with that. David, I agree with Dylan about the O-line. They get going and the run game will get the job done. Sorry if you already touched on that. Working out and listening simultaneously. No worries, David. Just glad to see you in here. In my opinion, we need to either use Deuce more this year as a change of pace, or we need a speed guy, which we don't really have at the moment minus Deuce. I will reluctantly disagree with you a little bit, because I do think we have a speed guy, and his name is Kavontae Turpin. I think they're going to use him in a lot of gadget plays, and we have already seen it in training camp that they do want to put him back there in those pistol formations and those RPOs and whatnot. So if Deuce is a practice squad guy, I fully expect the Cowboys to try to get Turpin more touches. And if you have these athletic offensive line to get out on those pin and pulls, you could have massive gains with Turpin in the run game. And I'm super excited with that. But let's jump back into, and let me take this comment down, sorry. Let's jump back into this film session of Cooper Beebe. And let's look at it right here. Still at the center position right here for Cooper Beebe. And got the head on swivel. good job of just he was really looking at this offense or D tackle, and then the other guy cut right in front of him. And just a good job to just stonewall that right there. As you can see, Cooper Beebe with good push, opened up a nice hole. Here he is again looking for work. Goes and helps his buddy right there. Love to see that. I don't want to ever. I never want um, my center to have idle hands. I want them to always be looking for work. So super positive stuff here from Cooper Beebe. Here he is. He gets to that second level on the linebacker, pushes, kind of misses him a little bit, but overall it was more than enough as far as his blocking assignment to get up there and do what he has to do. Right here, you can see he puts his guy in the dirt, like Dylan was talking about. Boom, a big chip block right there, and puts him in the dirt. Love to see it. Here he is. Gets a nice push right there. If this is a run play, it would have been a nice little lane for the running back right there. Here he goes again. Solid. Another snap and shotgun. Understands where it's coming. They're looking at the stunts. It is what it is. Just a a regular snap from Cooper Beebe right there. Kind of chilling out right there. Here he goes. Here's that push. Man, I didn't realize that he bounced it like that. Not a bad play. There's Cooper Beebe helping on that initial defensive tackle, then moving to the opposite side. Love to see it. Here's Cooper Beebe getting out in space. This is what I love. This is what you don't get with Brock Hoffman right there. Getting out in space and getting those powerful blocks at the second level. Here he is. That dealt with the stunt very well. Now, some people will say, oh, he got put on his butt right here. I think he trips over his left guard's foot right here. I'm not sure. It's kind of tangled up in there, but overall, he does a really good job to just get over there and get on this stunt right here. I think it's this guy on the edge that comes around. Oh, no, it's just that. Okay, yeah. So overall, that's plenty of time, plenty of, blocking power right there for Cooper Beebe. Double teams and moves. He recognizes. This is what I say about the head on the swivel. Stays right here. He's going to initially chip this this defensive tackle, then comes in, recognize it right there. Obviously a little bit slow. He didn't get the block that he needed to there, but this is a positive sign. Just the ability to recognize it and keep his head on a swivel. That's going to go a long way. The more that he figures out the center position, the better he will be at that. And I have to mention this. Travis Frederick has showed up to training camp. He's going to be, I already know that the Cowboys have called on Travis Frederick in the building to specifically talk to Cooper Beebe and Brock Hoffman because they want those guys to be generals at the center position, whoever wins the battle, because that takes so much more pressure off Dak Prescott and his blocking assignments and understanding what's happening with the protection. When he doesn't have to do that, that allows him to dissect the defense on the back end and understand, oh, okay, this is probably what these two safeties are. Oh, they're in the too high shell. This is what I need to go. This is my hot. This is this. And it just makes it so much easier on Dak Prescott. So they want those guys to be the generals at the center position. Here it is, a direct snap. Perfect. Nothing to change right there. Here it is again, under center. Boom. Gets out to the second level. He was in the right spot right there. I will just say that the running back cut it back inside, and that's why the linebacker's reading it and is able to get back over there. If the lane was right here, Cooper Beebe makes that block. Here we go. Looking for work again. Gets a nice block. And here he is, Trey Lance, working outside. Here's the direct snap. Boom. He was coming over. You could see that this player was going to come over, and then he realized the play is going outside, so he changed trajectory, but Cooper Beebe was there to make that block as well. Here he is with somebody lying directly over him. Good job. Enough room for the quarterback to stand in there and make that throw. Here we go. Another guy on top of him this time. Cooper Beebe going over there, chipping that guy. Solid. And we're almost done with this one, guys. And we'll jump over to some of these linebackers. Direct snap. Cooper Beebe, boom, chips him, puts him on the dirt. that should have been a touchdown by Trey Lance, man. I hate because if this is Dak Prescott throwing this ball right here, this is a touchdown all day. CD Lamb right here. Imagine CD, TD. If that's Dak, that's a throw that Trey Lance desperately missed. I think we're about to get. Oh, maybe these are all center snaps from Cooper Beebe right here. You can see the athleticism getting out wide. He just didn't find the block. Probably waiting until the running back makes the decision on where to go. That one, obviously, you don't want to see him get pushed back that much into the quarterback's lap, but overall, Beebe was spectacular in general. You can see this one. This is a play where Cooper Beebe gets up and out and boom, blocks him. I highlighted this one earlier, but I want to contrast this with a Brock Hoffman right here. And you can see, and I think I brought this one up earlier whenever I was looking at some of the Trey Lance plays as well. But yeah, this one is just like, you can see the lack of athleticism from Brock Hoffman versus Cooper Beebe. And that's the thing that you have to understand when there's some give and take on these guys. So, obviously Cooper Beebe is going to have some growing pains, but once he figures it out and learns it, he has so much higher of an upside than Brock Hoffman. Let's jump over here, see these comments. Let's see. O-line looks like bullies, in my opinion. Okay, that was the last one I read, I believe. Yeah, I've said that about Turpin as well. If I'm going to get Turpin or Deuce more touches, I'd much rather have Turp get him. He's shown that he can do what he can do already, but would love to see Deuce juice. Yeah, I'm like, I see both sides of it. Like a lot of positive from Deuce just because he knows how to read blocks better than Turpin, in my opinion. But Turpin just has that home run speed that Deuce just doesn't. So. Wait, rewind. That deep pass would have been completed if he hits second receiver, didn't go for it. Sorry, I didn't even. I'm trying to control the video here, Falcon, so I have no idea what pass you were talking about. Wasn't Sean Lee talking to Overshown and Liafu too? I did not see that, but if so, I love it because Sean Lee is such a cerebral linebacker, and he knows how to play that position. If it weren't for his body failing him, he would have been one of the all-time greats, and I truly do believe that. David, going to put the kiddo to bed. I'll jump back on in around 25. No worries, man. Go ahead and do that. By week 6, Cooper is going to be a beast. Took Martin a few games, and he's been a top 3 guard in the NFL ever since. Absolutely agree. Did he miss it, though, or did the receiver stutter when he shouldn't have? Let's go back and look at that, because I definitely know which one you're talking about in regards to that. Let's pull this back. See, it's the deep pass right there, I think. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I didn't see the receiver stutter. I don't know obviously what happens over here on the sideline before it gets that wide view, but I just know that if this is Dak Prescott and that's CeeDee Lamb or Brandon Cooks, that's a touchdown. And even if the let me try to bring it back just enough where you can kind of see this. Even if this receiver stuttered enough, you have plenty of time. I already know this safety does not have the range to get all the way over here and get on that ball. There's no way in hell this guy would have to be prime Ed Reed to get over there in that amount of time. So yeah, there's just no way. You can just put that right there on that inside shoulder right here on the pylon, and that's a touchdown. This guy's already beat. Doesn't matter if he stuttered or not back here. He's beat at this point. That's a touchdown. It should be a touchdown every single time. Yeah, because I swore that the receiver made a stutter. He shouldn't have when I watched it live. Okay, yeah. I don't know about that. Doesn't matter who is better, Sean Lee or Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly is better, just based on health. And I think Luke Kuechly was. I mean, if I'm just being honest, Luke Kuechly was better in coverage than Sean Lee was. I mean, Luke Kuechly was consistently getting, 2 to 4 interceptions each and every single year. Not that Sean Lee wasn't, but the injuries definitely hampered Sean Lee. If Sean Lee was healthy, though, I mean, he could have been Luke Kuechly. Like, he could have just been another Luke Kuechly clone. So, yeah, I'm actually a big fan of Luke Kuechly too. So, didn't need to take steroids like Luke Kuechly did, to be honest. Yeah, I won't get into that. Let's jump over here back. Oh man, let me see. Okay, there we go. Let's look at this Maurice Lua foul, all 22. And here we go over here. It's going to have the arrows each time, shifts into that middle linebacker position. That was actually a really good fits and everything. If this guy doesn't get to the second level and put that block on him, Leo foul makes that play. Here he is again. I like what I see right there, dropping into the zone coverage. And this is one of the things I thoroughly enjoy about Mike Zimmer is he's not showing you the same stuff. These guys aren't just dropping into their zones like this. He's bringing this guy on the blitz right there, and he's dropping in and covering that entire zone. Love to see that. Here we go again. Liu Fao again pointing, okay, here's this guy. I got to get out here to the flat. And he goes and covers that exactly how he should. Understands, okay, gap assignments, boom, good. Fills that middle gap well. There he goes. He's talking, he's communicating. Love to see that from the linebackers. Gets up, understands, continues to hustle. Okay. Here he is. He's lined up in that A gap. He's ready to go. Drops back into coverage. Disguised looks by Mike Zimmer. Love to see it. Mike Zimmer actually was cited by, I think it was DeMarvion Overshown, or I think it was, I'm not sure who said this, but one of the players said Mike Zimmer was calling plays and not even looking at his sheet. He was just looking solely off of what the offense was presenting, their look, and was calling the plays accordingly. That is genius level defensive coordinating. I said this in a post. Offensive coordinators, I love the new offensive, innovative minds. I love that. But whenever it comes to defensive coordinators, I prefer the old crusty guys that have seen it all, because they understand the game at a fundamental level. Sure, the looks can look a little bit different. There can be some exotic stuff, but at the base of everything, it's all football. It's all the same. They've seen it. It's just not presented the same way that they have in years past. So they understand that, oh, okay, this is a 3-by-1 set. This is what they can run out of this. Okay, this is 22 personnel. This is what they can run out of this. And those cogs just continue to click inside of their mind, and they can put the defense on the field and get them in the most advantageous position for their defense to succeed. That's what I like to see. Instead, Dan Quinn would see, oh, they only have one running back on the field. They have three. It's a 3-by-1 set. It's 11 personnel, one tight end, one running back. They're probably going to be passing right here. Maybe I can send these guys on a few stunts, get some pass pressure. That is not what I like to see. I like to see, okay, this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to get a mesh concept right here with this 2-by-2 look. Let me call this look. That is the epitome of what a defensive coordinator should be doing. Instead, there's some guys that look at their sheet. Okay, I feel like, yep, they got, it's 11 personnel. Yep, we're going to run a dime package. We're going to run a nickel. No, that's not how you should defensive coordinator, or you should coordinate out there. You should be looking at their sets and then trying to understand what they can do from that set and then call your play accordingly, not simply based on their personnel. It's how they align, it's their personnel, it's their tendencies, which you gain by watching film, and then it's their players. If they have a player that you know that they want to get the ball to, you also have to key on that and understand that you have to shade safeties one way or another. That's the stuff I really like by Mike Zimmer. Let's look into Dylan. Was indeed Overshown that said it. Speaking of, he's the guy I'm most excited about on this team. Yeah, I mentioned Overshown earlier, slowly becoming one of my favorite players on the team, even though I've seen very little football from the guy. He's just one of those guys that he brings the energy. He has a certain amount of charisma to him, and I just really like to see him. He makes it exciting. The report on Zim not reading his sheet is masterclass, correcting as the game is played. Yeah. Man, it's exciting. I really do think this defense has the potential, especially with the retention of Al Harris, to be so special because you have linebackers that can diagnose now. You have Eric Kendricks. You have a Damone Clark playing in his natural role at that will spot. You have um, Demo, who can play very well in that linebacker role and click and close, but he also is so good at coverage. And then you have Liufau, who's a little bit of everything. And I really like this young linebacker group. And then you pair that with the back half with that group of Deron Bland, Diggs, Hooker, who I think Hooker is going to have a massive year under Mike Zimmer. I'm putting that on the record right now because I really think Hooker, if he stays healthy, he has the range to make some nice plays on some balls in the defensive passing game. And then you've got that big hitter Dono, you've got Wanya, you've got Marquise Bell, who played excellent in this preseason game. And then you talk about Micah, D-Law, Marshawn Nealon. You've got some guys that are really making this stuff exciting again, even though it was such an underwhelming offseason. So let's jump back into these plays real quick by Maurice Luafau. Once again, in that middle linebacker role right there. Understands, diagnoses, he doesn't go with the running back, stays keyed in, stays squared to the ball. Perfect. Here he is talking again. I mean, sure, you probably would like him not to attack this edge instantly, but it helps him bounce back inside if his other linebacker is ready. It's not a bad rep by him. I just wish that he would have stayed more keyed in right there and then wait till the blocker comes out and shows and then picks the side to go to, but not bad. This one, yeah, this is one of those ones where he's just like, stay in your hole, wait for the running back to come, and then bounce that out. I actually didn't notice number 60 came up and blocked him right there. Either way, this, especially with your rusher playing this wide out here anyways, you would like to probably kick inside right there. That was just a really good hole opened up by the Rams offensive line though too. Here he is, good. He bounces that on the outside expecting the cutback, but I'm not worried about that. Here he is on that weak side. Comes back over, boom. Okay. So they're mixing him out around a little bit on the linebacker position. So he's playing that weak side on that side. And here he goes. Okay. Not bad. Gets into the run defense game. Gets an assisted tackle right there. Here he is again. Not bad. That's exactly what he's supposed to do right there for anybody. He's got to fill his run lane first. His gap assignment is on this side. He's not going to bounce all the way over there just because the running back's going that way, because then that allows a cutback lane. So exactly what he's supposed to do right there. Here he is again. Attacks that a little bit too quickly, in my opinion. That's one of the most underrated things about the very, very good linebackers in the league is they have patience and they understand when to go. They're not always looking to make the play instantly, but you also have to understand, based on film, if this is Boston Scott, he loves to get real close to his offensive lineman and then kick it outside. So I can see probably what he was doing right there. He's all the way widescreen right here, probably in coverage on a tight end. And incompletion right there. I like the communication continued. Here he is covering 87. I don't know if that's a tight end, but I assume that guy was probably in line at the start. Okay, so yeah, so a tight end right here comes up with the little option route, probably can go outside or inside, usually called the Y option right there. He gets the little chip and then, yep. So yeah, perfect coverage right there. His coverage was actually his my positive whenever I watched him at Notre Dame. I thought that's what he was best at. And it continues to prove that he's pretty good at the coverage aspect of the game, and he's continuing to grow and learn. So I really think this rookie class has shown a lot. And with that being said, we're going to jump into this last video of the last rookie that I wanted to really highlight, that's Marshawn Nealon right here on the edge. He's already pro ready as a run defender. You can just see how he maintains this block. He engages strong with the bull rush right here on that inside shoulder towards the running back, because you can see how they're aligned. Oh, whoops, let me pause this. Sorry. This is how they're aligned. They have this tight end as an inline blocker. So he knows they're probably going to try to cut it this side. So he's got to beat this guy instantly in order to get this tackle for loss if he has any chance at doing that. So he instantly understands, boom, push this guy in, get up. And actually, it's interesting how their right tackle instantly goes with the double team to open up this lane, but the running back pulls it back this side. I kind of want to watch this really quick from like an offensive standpoint. Boom, cut back, and yep. Yeah, so just overall, really good run defender already. Here he is. He was working on that right or left side. Now he's on the right side. Good, really good usage of hands in the bull rush right here. He gets under this guy's pads. Boom, pushes back, gets through, tries to rip through. Solid for a rookie right there. Here he comes again from that 3-point stance. Kind of gets stonewalled a little bit, but not bad. You're not going to win. I told this to somebody I was arguing with on Twitter. As a defensive end, you have to have 3 really good plays to have a player of the week type of a game as a defensive end. As an offensive tackle, you have to have 60 plus snaps really good to have a good game. So that's the difference between the two positions. You only have to have a handful of plays as an edge player versus the majority of your plays as a tackle or any of these offensive line spots. So you're not going to win every single down as an edge. You just have to understand that you've got to try and continue to mix in different looks and see what the weakness is of the person opposite of you and exploit that the next down against them. It looks like he goes against that this inline tight end a lot right here, which he completely destroys this guy every time he goes against. But boom, he actually goes up and it's a little fake on the block, and then this guy rolls around and tries to lay a lick on Marshawn, but he does a great job of absorbing it, boom, and then getting back to the runner. That's what I really liked seeing him, is he already had an NFL body coming in out of college. He already was the size he needed to be an effective run defender in the league, and you can see that he absorbs hits so well and continues to make plays even after the hits come. Here he is again, gets onto the edge, beats that guy. Yeah, good rep. I do want to see him get a little bit better with like, some pull and swims and some, independent hand type of some rushes. It seems like whenever he bull rushes, he tends to go with both hands a little bit too much. But that's something that he learns over time. So here he is. He's just maintaining his edge right there. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Boom, here he is again, getting out wide. He does have he has good bend already. Not a bad rep. Gets good depth. So, yeah, I think that overall the report on these rookies is really really good. Really positive. I think that for all of the woes that we had with last year's class, and obviously I feel like we would have felt a lot better with last year's class if Overshown would have been healthy. I feel like, we've been like, okay, Overshown made up for the other guys, but it was underwhelming. And mind you, Luke Schoonmaker was bad again. So that's another thing to check out. And in fact, really none of the tight ends popped off in that preseason game. And I actually kind of thought that John Stevens would, but that's beside the point. Let's look at this really quick. It was indeed Overshown that said that. I already read that. Masterclass. Okay. Already read those. Yeah, I think that this rookie class, you saw it with the Tyler Guyton, Cooper Beebe, Marshawn Nealon. I didn't have any of the plays by Kalen Carson. I didn't break those down or find any clips of those, but and let me bring myself back up on the screen. Sorry, I didn't get those guys' clips. Only had so much time to find this stuff and actually watch it beforehand and check out what I liked from those things. But man, as far as the early looks and reports from this rookie class, it is super positive. I'm super excited for this team moving forward, especially if you're getting both of those rookies on the offensive line. I think this running game is going to be so much improved from last year to this year. Um, if there's anybody I think that needs a good game on the second preseason game, it's going to be Luke Schoonmaker, Hendershot, Ryan Flournoy, Junior Fehoku. Um, what did I forget? Willie Harvey. All of those guys drastically need to improve from that first game. I'm interested to see more of Booth. I think he only had 2 snaps in that preseason game, so I'd like to see some more of him. What do you think of the rookie cornerbacks, Carson and Scott? Yeah, Eric Scott Jr. is a second-year player, but still, yeah, young guy. I thought that Scott got torched quite a bit. Was not very good in coverage that game, but he did come up with the pick, which made up for a little bit of that stuff. Obviously, you cannot be giving up, gain after gain after gain. So he needs to have a better game, in my opinion, as well. Also, the trade between Dallas and Minnesota, right for Booth. Yes, Booth, he only played 2 snaps from what I kind of tabulated, and both of those were, okay, cool. Didn't pop off the page, but just was solid in coverage. So, yeah, Booth was fine for the 2 snaps he played. I'm interested to see more of him because I think that he legitimately could be your cornerback 5, and you might just roll with the 5. You might cut Eric Scott and put him on the practice squad. You might not keep Israel Mukwamu. You might not keep some of these other guys further down the list. So, yeah, very, very interested in how that depth chart from cornerback 5 to 6 goes, and even if you keep a 6th one, yeah, Marshawn Nealon is him. Completely agree. I'm just mad that the Star We Are didn't invite me to interview Marshawn Nealon as well, but that's completely fine, man. That's awesome that you guys got him on. Yeah, that's basically all I have for the show. Like I said, Fehoku, he's getting blown off of the ball badly at that 3 tech position. I think that we might be looking to check out some other teams' 3 techs as far as depth whenever those guys get cut. Also, Carl Davis wasn't bad, but I thought that Mozzie was quite clearly the best defensive tackle on the field last night, and he was still, I would probably give him a C plus to B minus grade. He still wasn't great in my opinion, but he was definitely improved. And excuse me, that's all I really wanted to see from Mozzie. Um, One I'm curious if you watched was Muhammad. I'm excited about the dude. Dude has a motor. Yes. I don't even know how to say his first name, so I won't even attempt it. But Muhammad was one of those guys that was relentless as far as whenever I saw him on the field. High motor guy. He definitely has some savvy as far as the moves that he mixes in. It's not all bull rushes. It's not all those swim moves. He has some some rip and pulls as well. And you can definitely see he's more seasoned than some of the other edge rushers we have out there. So yeah, I thought that Muhammad definitely made a little bit of a name for himself and could very well play himself onto the roster. He's a guy that's seen a lot of football and pass. So yeah, I thought that Muhammad was actually one of the better edges, and that's other than Nealand and like 2 reps by Fehoku on edge. I really didn't see very much from any of those guys. I will say Golston is really good as a run defender on that edge spot, but he gives you very little pass rush, and that's what I'm worried about from him. Yeah, that's the Star We Are hates everyone. They didn't give me the ball I wanted because I didn't win. Like, that's a good reason. Love to see the friendly banter. Yeah, so like I said, players that had really good games was a lot of those rookies that I mentioned. I thought that Mozzie had a good game, still needs to improve, still needs to work on the conditioning a little bit. I thought that Jalen Brooks, a sophomore player from last year, played really well. I thought that Jalen Cropper as far as I'm concerned, he should be on the team. He's really good. My only qualm with Jalen Cropper is the work that he got in training camp was in that spot that CD really occupies. So I don't know if it's a redundancy to keep Jalen Cropper when you could opt for like a Jalen Brooks that gives you a little bit more flexibility in the red zone. So that's something to keep an eye on. But yeah, Feihoku, Eric Scott, Willie Harvey, some of those other guys that were, were just unimpressive. They have to rebound, get better next game against the Raiders, which I believe that's at I forgot what their stadium name is, but it's in Las Vegas. So, and then that third game is going to be against the Chargers, I believe, at AT&T. So, and my guy Falcon says, yeah, I'm not sold on Cropper. I'm sold on Cropper. I think that Cropper has good hands. He separates better than probably any other receivers not named Cooks and CeeDee Lamb. And I also think that he's fearless over the middle. Yeah, Elysian Stadium. Yep, you're right. CD, Cooks, Tolbert, Brooks, Turpin are the 5 I see sticking around. Allegiant, yeah. Man, I really feel like if they let Cropper go, he's gonna go. It's gonna be like an Isaiah Land. It's gonna be like a what's the big homie from Arkansas that was the defensive tackle, John Ridgeway. I feel like it's gonna be one of those situations, and it's just not gonna be. It's not gonna bode well for the fans that really liked Cropper. But that's my opinion. I'm a Cropper fan, so yeah, I just want to see that guy succeed because I think that he's really good, and he's one of those guys you could possibly see have, kind of a Cedric Wilson kind of an arc. But yeah, appreciate everybody that stuck around the whole show, tuned in, hit that like button. Please set that notification bell. Got to thank my parent network, the Grid Network. That's GRYD Network. They have a whole host of other sports you should check out, sports shows that you should check out. And with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a good rest of your Tuesday night, and we will catch back up next Tuesday. Or actually, I probably will go live for that next preseason game. I don't know. I'm not sure. Undecided. If any of my people, David, Dylan, Falcon, Star We Are, if any of you guys are interested in doing like a merging show, pregame show for the preseason, hit me up on Twitter, and we'll do it. Anyways, peace out, guys.
Yeah. Forget what you got, none of it matters until you don't wear from the top. I'm talking non-stop, squad. They've been down with me for years, and none of them asking for squad. Five, out of the gutter, don't stutter, I'm taking my shots. Pop, block, out the noise, some others, my brothers and me, we going off. Bippity pop, talking that ish, I'ma empty my clip, my Google go pop. There goes another, I'm jumping for cover, then I'm taking off, we not getting caught. Tired of violence, but you pushing buttons, it's something that's ticking me off. Stop, say it again, gonna regret it, I'm talking behead of your body's gonna rot. If you do not know me, don't comment on my life, don't comment on my daughter, don't comment on my wife. Me, I'm just a father, gotta hustle in the night. Ski mask with a 45 like MJ, take a flight. Me, I gotta move it, I got the drive and I gotta use it. You gonna lose it, talking that trash in the back of a Buick. Clueless, you know my life and you know my music. Psych, stupid.